Meet the team that doesn't just talk about impact, they ignite it. Jim Morris and producer Rachel.
Yay!
Good morning. I'm feeling feisty this morning. I've had already 2 cups of coffee, hit the sauna. I'm ready to roll today.
Yeah, you're all about it. I'm like, I can't see. Like, I'm still like, I can't. My eyes are just like, whatever. So if you need me to see anything, we're going to roll with it and pretend like I totally am awake and the sleep is not still in my eyes.
You got this.
How are you?
I'm good. Rise and energize. Let's go. Some energy gains. What's going on right now? What's going on in your world? Any drains coming up? Anything?
Yeah, my biggest drain is, so I have a huge client right now for consulting, which you're aware of. We've kind of talked about it a little bit. That contract's coming to an end. And my brain didn't conceptualize, hey, we should probably prepare for that end and book more clients. After that, I have a couple of clients, like monthly clients. That's fine. But this bigger contract, I had to bump time out and give it all to them.
Of course.
And so now that that's coming to an end, nowhere in my brain was like, oh, hey, we should maybe market ourselves and book new clients. I don't know, maybe. It's the weirdest thing. Like, everything was so focused on this one consulting client that I couldn't even get my brain around, oh, I have a business that I have to keep running. Help me. Jim, help me.
No. I think we've all been there, right? I think the entrepreneur that's just kind of hit that home run out the gate and kept it consistent and continued to just crush month over month. Like, that's a rare case, right? Like, let's just be real. At least based on the people that I've talked to and worked with, right? Even from the highest level to the newest entrepreneur who is a couple months in, crushed it, and is struggling to keep it consistent. I think that, at the when I really summarize all of it, I can find 50 reasons why it happens in a business, right? Like, you had a big client working on, you just consumed your time, your energy again, right? Like, big client, big expectations, big energy give to gain, big energy give to give the client a gain. Makes sense, right? You put a lot of energy in, there's an output, they get the output, they've paid for that output. So when I think it through, I'm like, okay, you've got a lot of client work. That could be one big client. That could be maybe you scaled too fast or you need to hire. That takes time, right? More recently in my business, the marketing company, social media management, we just went through restructure as well as building out some different processes and moving some teammates around. So for us in that situation, that took time away from prospecting and essentially lining up new connections to see if I can help and create impact in their life, right? So I think there's a million reasons that this can happen. People being power, something I often say all the time, is usually a big piece of it, right? There's other things that could happen, like technology changes or, other things that cause some hindrance. But ultimately, what do you do, I think, is the question. And you've got to look at it from a time how I would look at it is, if you didn't prospect or you didn't give that time that was needed for a week in some cases, right? Like, it could be 3 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 3 months you didn't prospect for. I would assume that you're going to have some sales inconsistencies, some revenue inconsistencies for probably the next 90 days. So how can you prospect for 90 days in the next 2 weeks? And I would use that comparison, and I look at my numbers in my data. That's a shitload of conversations. It's a ton of calls. It's a ton of follow-ups, but it's time to get back on the horse, because ultimately you want to keep that consistent and keep it riding so you're not back in those situations. And I think it's hard to do, but how do you get that time scheduled on your calendar is always going to be the first place, especially for me. Being one of my strengths is strategic and strategic about time and clearly energy. We're talking about energy here.
Jim loves to time block. I time block and then don't pay any attention to any of it. I'm like, oh, that was my yesterday self that blocked that.
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. No way in this world am I perfect with it. But I think for me, it's if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I think if you're anything like me, and most, there's a majority of us that are, using that calendar feature is extremely important. I would miss a majority, and I'm not perfect, right? Like I do push stuff, I do move stuff. Life does happen, right? Rachel, we were just chatting about, kids and, the earache last night and, losing a few hours and then still getting up early and making sure we're on time for this and we're live and all that fun stuff. So, but back to how do we kind of fix that? I think it's that, how do you shrink 90 days of prospecting into 2 weeks and really get back ahead of it? Because we know that not all those calls, not all those follow-ups are going to convert immediately, but we got to start the engine of the process beginning to start that conversion, meaning following back up. Hey, how is that project going? Did you ever find a solution to that problem we discussed 3 months ago? That's one of my favorite follow-ups for lost business. Just check it. Hey, how did you solve your problem? Right? Because that's me caring. That's not me saying, hey, you ready to pay me that amount? Or does that amount work? Or are you ready to, sign on the dotted line today? Like, I don't want to follow up directly like that, but I do want to follow up strategically.
Well, and that always makes me feel so uncomfortable is just even selling, even the idea of it. Like you're such a natural salesman. I'm not there yet. Right. And so for me, it's so much easier, like, because I do genuinely care about all of my people and all of my connections. So for me, it just seems natural and it feels easier for me in my body to just be like, hey, how are you doing? How is this thing? Did this work out? I'm here if you need me, type of a thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to the sales piece, it's how can I have a conversation? And I think the thing for me is everything leading up to that point is a conversation. And I just know that I need to make a call to action. And it's typically an invite. Let me invite you into Impact Effect Accelerator. Let me invite you into the training we did yesterday on ChatGPT and setting up tasks and using AI for photos. And let me invite you to something or give you value. And then we have then it's from there what happens. And I think if there's interest or value taken from what I've provided, then it's my right to give you the opportunity to make a choice if you want to go further. And that could be of many different things, right? We talk about it inside Impact Effect Accelerator. One of the trainings we did was the value ladder and the journey and the art of the journey of the customer and building that ascension model so you can continue to help them at every level as they get more inclined or need more products or need your services.
So I love that. I think that in my brain, the only sticky thing is like, that means I don't get a break. Like I can't take a break. I mean, I can if I feel like, okay, great, I don't need to make money anymore. But that's not a reality that I live in. So what sucks is like, now I have to overlap the end of the contract, right? Where I'm going to give them time, but then I have to sell. Like I have to reach out. I have to do all of that. And it just sucks because I think in my brain and body, it's just like, God, I wanted at least like a little bit of a reprieve, but I'm a business owner. We don't get that unless we choose to, right? Unless we budget for it. And I didn't budget for that. So I'm like,
but I think too, like, give yourself something. Like I would say a day off to recharge and rest is probably overdue, especially with a big contract and a big client and high profile like you're working with. I think the problem becomes is it a day or is it 3 days? Is it a day or is it 5 days? Like, do you need to go on a full vacation or do you need to just lounge and, kids call me if you need me type of day with some Netflix and some takeout and just literally do nothing, right? Like, I think that could be the difference of that solution potentially. I think also, don't kill yourself. Like, dedicate a block of time. Yep, time block Jim over here. But like dedicate a time. can you do that just in the mornings and then not have an intense, high, extrovert, a lot of conversations, a lot of connections, a lot of, proposals in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like to split the day because I'm also drained in the afternoons, and I know I'm not going to perform at the highest level anyways. And I want to give the best to a potential customer because I'm going to give the best when I deliver the product or service, right? And I want those two to be aligned. So for me, it's mornings. Clearly, we're doing Rise and Energize, and we're up early, and I'm
all
already 2
about
cups in,
mornings.
and I can't
I
stop
love
talking
it.
this morning. So, here we are.
All right. So I'm going to, number one, listen to my body and give it the time that it needs.
Yes, number one.
Before I even block out the time, we're going to listen to my body and my brain, because I do know, like, I need a little bit of a break. I love that. And then I will block out the time. Again, I'm going to use my body and my brain as the example. I know I'm better in the morning, so we'll block out time in the morning. Follow-ups, I have to create boundaries, right? Where it's like, if I know I can't pass this time, think as clearly, I just don't respond. I don't respond to the text or the email or the voicemail, right? Like, we bump that to the next day. And then next time, like, what lesson did I learn from this? I need to be more consistent with prospecting. I need to be more consistent with staying in touch. Even if I have a big client that's taking a lot of my time, I also have to understand I'm running a business. Right. So, like, I'm not, yes, the consulting is part of that, but I also have a bigger picture with what I'm doing with the business and with clients and my brand. So I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to feel guilty for what I didn't do. That's just an energy drain and takes up space in my brain that I don't need it to take up. And then I will focus on what I can do better.
Very important.
Have that.
Very important. You crush on some good pieces. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some self-care. Move to the next thing. There's no benefit in dwelling on it. So that's it. That's a wrap. That's what we needed to say today. I think that's a super important piece.
That's it. Exactly. So if you guys take anything away from this, it's really that. And if you need more help, impacteffectaccelerator.com. We're here for you guys.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Have a good day, everybody.
Everybody.